Let us examine what is isolated IO bus system. We have already understood what is a distinct IO bus system. In the distinct IO bus system, we use two separate buses. One is for main memory, one more is for IO devices. In a bus system, I do have address bus, data bus, and a control bus. In the second bus, we do have same three lines, but the things that are connected are different. One is main memory and one more is IO device. Let us see the second category, that is isolated IO bus system. How to design. Isolated IO. In isolated IO, we don't have the different bus systems. We do have a common bus system, that is there will be same address line, there will be same data line, but there will be two control lines, control line 1 and control line 2, CL2. Okay, each control line is for one of the device. Let us say control line 1 is equal to main memory. Control line 2 will be for devices, that is IO devices. How does it work exactly? Let us stay focused and understand. Let us see. The main memory system is of 1000 words. Okay, the main memory size is equal to 1000 for this instance, and there are 4 IO devices. There are 4 IO devices. Each device uses an interface, right? Now to communicate with the IO devices, I do require an interface. Now in this case, each device is using a separate interface. This is interface 1, interface 2, interface 3, and interface 4. And each of these interfaces has 100 registers. Okay, meaning 100 locations within each interface, 100 registers. Okay, so this is 100 registers, this is 100 registers, this also has 100 registers, this also has 100 registers. Now let us understand how the addresses will get generated. Main memory is addressed in between 0 to 1000, let us see. Has to be 0 to 999, but anyhow, let us understand the total set of addresses that are available in main memory is from 0 to 1000. Here each and every address is a location. When it comes to the peripheral devices, each and every interface also 100 locations each. Each of these locations must also be addressed. Okay, how these addresses will be generated? Let us see. The first interface, the address space will be 0 to 100 because there are 100 registers. Second interface address space will be equal to 101 to 200. Third interface address space will be equal to 201 to 300. Fourth interface address space will be equal to 301 to 400. Okay, now CPU want to send some data. Let us say CPU want to perform writing. Okay, so what CPU does is it is going to send information. It is going to send information to the bus system. Bus system is very common, right? The bus system is common. So CPU want to write this data. Hyderabad should be written where, which is specified by the address bus. Address bus is equal to 250. Okay, in the 250th location, this data must be written. Tell me which location is CPU referring to? Okay, because 250 is available in both main memory and here. The address space 250 is falling under two different locations. When you look at main memory, there is a 250th address because the total address spaces of the main memory from 0 to 1000 are from 0 to 1000. So there will be a 250th location. Okay, here when you look at the IO devices also there is a 250. When you look at the third IO device, there is a 250. In this interface, there will be a 250th location, right? Okay. So now, how CPU is going to differentiate? This writing is going to be performed in either main memory or IO device. At that time, it is going to use these control lines. Okay. So CPU want to write this data Hyderabad in the location 250. But there are two locations with that name. One is in the main memory, one more is in one of the interfaces. At that time, CPU is going to differentiate in between main memory location and IO locations by using control lines. If the control line 1 is enabled, then this information should be transferred to main memory. If the control line 2 is enabled, then this information should be transferred to IO devices. Okay, in that way, the isolated IO will get designed and used. In isolated IO, I do have separate IO instructions. You know that there are IO instructions, right? In isolated IO, there are separate IO instructions. Whenever IO instructions are used, such as INP or OUT, then following address will be falling under IO devices. Okay, these are input and output transfers. But if it is memory input and output transfers, we are going to use load and store. Load and store. When a load and store instruction is used, no matter whatever the address follows, those addresses are memory addresses. But IO instructions are used, the following address is an IO device address. Okay, so this is how we are going to design and maintain an isolated IO. Okay, in the isolated IO, unlike distinct IO, address and data buses are same, but only the control buses will be different. That is, I do have two control lines. One control line is for main memory and one more control line is for IO. This is how these are going to be differentiated.